The Cleveland Cavaliers are about to see up to three new names joining their roster here soon, as a report from a former GM and now insider says the Cavs should add 1 to 3 players in the coming weeks as NBA offseason continues. We're close to training camp, about a month away. Hey everybody, Billy Beebe back with you on Cavs Digest. Excited to break down everything happening with the Cleveland Cavaliers, possibly some new names joining the Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll talk about that report and those opportunities and those names circulating right now. But you want to subscribe. When you subscribe, you have that opportunity to get those videos right away, to get those alerts that, hey, the Cavaliers signed so-and-so, they trade for so-and-so, they let someone go. You're going to get that right away. We're going to give you all the information right here on Cavs Digest. So let's jump into it right away. John Hollinger of The Athletic reporting and saying in one of his recent podcasts and reports, I'm also assuming the Cleveland Cavaliers will eventually sign another player or 3 to fill out their roster. Now, the Cavs have been a little busy lately. GM Koby Altman, JT Thor got a 2-way contract, Emoni Bates got his official 2-way contract, and Luke Travers got his official 2-way contract. So Koby Altman's been busy. They're trying to fill this roster out. However, they are towing a line right now of guys that could benefit, but also they need to continue to develop. So Emoni Bates may play G League a lot. Luke Travers absolutely will. JT Thor has a chance to make the roster, but I predict he'll be a member of the Canton Charge. The Canton Charge are going to be loaded this year. A lot of names on that one, and that move making continues for the Cavaliers with 2-way contracts. However, I think this report from Hollinger, what he's talking about here, I think this 1 to 3 names is going to be actual roster spots, actual guys that are locked up for the year, 1-year deals, looking to benefit. Now, those options, as we talked about it, NBA free agency continues, names continue to get signed, flown around, rumored. Let's break down the names that could possibly find their way to Cleveland if they do grab, like we said, and Hollinger said it, one guy, could be 1, could be 3. It's going to get very interesting very quickly, too, with training camp again. September 30th is media day and training camp not long after. So, I mean, we've really got a month that all this could happen. So the first name, former Cavalier, current Cavalier, right in that mix, Isaac Okoro. It was rumored the Cavs would do a sign-in trade. Then we kind of went back on that, and it was like, all right, well, the Cavs don't want to get nothing for him, so it seems they want to bring him back. Brian Windhorst also discussing that this is similar to how they traded Colin Sexton, where they just couldn't decide if a 4-year, however much extension is really worth it to keep this player around. And there's even more pressure with Okoro because you've seen what he can do in the playoffs, and it's really mid. You know, it's right there in the middle where it's like good defender, not going to step up shooting-wise. What's that worth to you? So Isaac Okoro is one name for the Cavaliers they have to take a look at, and you're going to possibly see maybe come back to the Cavaliers as, man, that one, they've been working on that since they got eliminated, I believe. An extension, an option to keep him another year, a small extension of a year or 2. I'm not sure where they're even at on those negotiations, but Isaac Okoro, a name to watch. If they bring back one guy or bring one guy onto the roster, could just be they bring back Isaac Okoro to hopefully add and help out a little bit. Another name still available, Rob Covington. Best days behind him for sure, but in a wing-driven league in the Eastern Conference where you're having to guard Tatum and Brown and Paolo and Mikal Bridges and some of those guys with the Knicks, it's not going to hurt to have a veteran and a veteran wing. You know, stats aren't there for Covington anymore. He's not a starter. Really didn't get many minutes with the Sixers last season. Hurt off and on for sure. But hey, you want a veteran wing that could swing a game and play some key 6 or 7 minutes. I think Rob Covington is a terrific option for the Cavaliers. They'll really take a look at him, I believe. And he's one of the top remaining free agents for anybody. Then you got Brandon Boston Jr. pictured on the right there. This would be a project. This would be just barely a step above Emoni Bates. Such a young player. I believe he's barely over 21. Hasn't seen many minutes. He was a part of that famous Sierra Canyon team with Zaire Wade and Bronny James, and he was on there, and that was a fun team. And watching his rise, I believe he went to Kentucky, and getting minutes here or there for the Clippers, looking really good in some stretches. If you're a fan of the Bill Simmons podcast, he's ranted and raved about him a time or two, but now the Clippers, who this would be the time too to invest in him with losing some guys and some things changing. Right now he's sitting out there waiting for somebody to bring him back. So this would be again a guy that you would probably want to do a two-way contract, but it seems like they're out of them. They just have too many guys in that role. So if they did sign a young player like Brandon Boston, as I said, it's not going to hurt to have a wing at a guy just sitting at 6'6", 6'7", good length, decent defender, and a knockdown shooter, can create his own shot. If you can pull that off the bench, and look, it's the Dion Waiters heat check situation, right? You yank him off the bench, you're out there for 5 minutes. If he's great, keep him in. If he's not, he's done for the day, possibly done for the series. So that's your look at Brandon Boston. Last, stay with me here. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, the brother of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Look, the problem here is the memes, right? The memes of nepotism and him running around with just terrible shots, bad layups, limited minutes, goofy situations with Thanasis. Here's the thing. This is a guy who's been a development project in the league, is a decent-sized power forward with some athletic capability, and has been on the bench. I'm not going to say has played, because he really has not, but has been on the bench and been a part of a team that has been in big games. Not just the finals, but playoffs. The pressure that's been on the Bucks the last couple of years, the drama with the Bucks. Get him in. It's a veteran presence. That's what this is. This is a veteran presence with upsides. That's what you'll get with Thanasis Antetokounmpo. So before we wrap up here on Cavs Digest, again, I'll mention we will have some great content coming out when Cavs Media Day happens on September 30th. We'll give you some inside looks, some notes from what happened, and some video that we'll have when we go to Cavs Media Day and kind of capture everything happening there. And I will say this regime and these players are very good at Cavs Media Day. LeBron James, Kevin Love and company, not big on sitting down and doing interviews in the past. While Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, they have been very, very good. So I'm very excited to check that out. Keep an eye out with Cavs Digest. Drop down in the comments. Do you like the idea of bringing Isaac Okoro back? Can I sell you on Thanasis? Please drop to the comments. Was my description of Thanasis way off, or what do you think about that? I like a Brandon Boston Jr. That's an option. I've traded for Rob Covington a million times in 2K. That might be my bias there. But drop down to the comments, let us know, and be sure to subscribe with Cavs Digest.